I mean, I'm sure we all want to hear, and I know we've touched on it, but my first question, what was this? We can already tell, but tell us more now that we all have mics. What was this collaboration like? And you're like in green, and yeah, I love it. What was it like? What was it like? Like, tell us, because we can feel the creative synergy and the love and the respect you have for each other. So, just both answer. What was this collaboration like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was so wonderful and so lucky, and it's one of those things where I guess it was Steve Jobs who said something about how you can only connect the dots in hindsight. And when I look back on my life, I can see that, you know, leading up to our collaboration, where I loved creative writing my whole life. I loved to write short stories and poetry, and I went to college fully expecting to be an English major and study under this poet who was in residence at the college I went to. And then I took a sociology course and loved it, and it blew my mind. And at Amherst, where I went to college, the sociology and anthropology are one department. I couldn't really articulate at the time why it felt so urgent and so important to learn that stuff. But now, when I look back on it, I think it's that it just felt vital to learn about the stories that we tell about ourselves, about who we are, and the stories that we tell about other people, how we construct other cultures when we interact with them, and trying to understand people from other cultures in their own terms, and understand like these points of intersection and connection between cultures. And so that was the lens with which I'd study history and with which I'd studied this time period. And yeah, I just loved learning that so much, and I didn't know how it would play into my writing. It just felt like I had to learn that.
You're saying sociology and anthropology, and I'm like, check, check. There's so many beautiful undertones. Like, I just gotta say.
So I think because of that, and then I was in grad school getting my MFA in writing when we connected, and Lucas from Westbrook had sent me. You had written the first half of the first draft, and you had Freitas and Alvager in there.
I did.
You did. Yeah.
What? Really? I'm forgetting this.
Well, with as many drafts as you guys have done, it's like.
But I remember I did say, I was like, we either have to like build Freitas out or take her out as a narrator.
Totally.
And we were like, you know what? Let's put her in there and let's explore this dynamic.
Yes.
And I remember we talked, and you had you knew these characters so well, and you had this incredible vision of where they were going. And I remember just understanding that so deeply. Like when you talked about the pigeon language. I don't want to give too much away. It's like, there's a language that gets invented, and I was just like so struck by that. It's this like incredible like revisionist history of what could have happened if we leaned into the best parts of human nature in this time period.
100%.
And I loved the thought experiment of that. It really is like an anthropological thought experiment, as well as.
This is what I'm talking about. This is the kind I'm talking about. Oh my goodness, no! Like just hearing you say this, like we would have full on. Like most of our conversations wouldn't even be about like, okay, like how is this going to be written?
Yeah.
It would be about like, what does Freitas want? Like, why is she going through this? Like how do their wants, like where do their wants intersect, and where do their wants completely diverge from each other? And just really having deep conversations about the psychology of these characters.
Totally.
And you were just always so like, you're always on the same page.
Yeah, I mean, your vision was so clear, and I was like, this is so incredible. And yeah, I mean, so sometimes we would split it up by POV,
Yep.
and then we would meet and go over each other's work. And you know, when writing partnerships work, it's like incredible because the whole is just greater than the sum of its parts. You know, like I always say all writers have blind spots. And so to have someone who you trust, who you know sees the vision, be able to kind of like catch those things, and you can push each other to go deeper and deeper. And
I'm like, Jess,
Yeah.
how about we just describe the mountains for 3 pages? She's like, I think a page. Let's go back to the emotional thing that happened right now.
But and it would happen in the reverse too, where it'd be like, well, you'd be like, I think you just blew past this very important beat, and I'd be like, whoops, you're right, I totally did.
Yeah.
But that's like why it's so important as writers to like get feedback and like, you know, and Trisha, our incredible editor.
Yes, Trisha's in the
And her feedback is also so instrumental. And so yeah, I mean, we got lucky that we could like I really felt like I could see what you were going for. And
Oh my goodness, 100%.
I mean, I do both fascinating. I was like, I'm just forgetting that, like, oh, you have a job to do, because I'm like, it's fascinating. I'm like, there's so, from a foundational, like, the anthropological way you approach stories. And again, once you read it, it makes so much sense, because there's a gravity and a dimension to the world throughout. And mind you, this world goes through many different things, but whether we're in Ouagadougou, whether we're in crossing the desert, whether we're at the I was like, this is so, it doesn't feel like television, but you see it like television.
The cinematic.
Yes,
The cinematic.
and yes,
moments.
obviously we cast you as Yafe. It was like, so I know. But in my head, as they're walking, they're like, Jubu, you're like, I saw it. I'm not saying anything, but I saw it. I just have one final question before we open up to the audience. I know.
Yes,
Say your
that. I like that.
It's more on this collaboration, and sorry to be the first person to do this, but probably starting tomorrow morning, you will be bombarded for years with, hey, just finished, where's book 2? Hey, just finished, where's book 2? Hey, Willow, I see you posted a picture of yourself outside. That's so great. I'm so happy you're starting this month. Where's book 2? So just happy to be the first one to do that. This amazing collaboration that you guys have. Like, I know we're still processing. I know you're probably putting out 4 more albums, a furniture line, a fashion show, just a coffee table book with pictures of your face, different angles, same look, but just like 360 angles. Trisha, I will ask you to get on that. Amidst all of your creativity, what does collaboration look like for the future? Because you mentioned that, like, you started unraveling who Yafe is and what she can become, and there's so much beauty in destiny. Something that really touched me is her mother.
Yeah.
It really touched me how her mother
Yafe's
said,
mom
"I
is
see
the
you."
real MVP.
Yes.
Let's just be real about
Yes.
that.
And she's like, I've tried to do my thing, but I see who you are.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like we get that. I don't feel, so again, so beautiful. Everyone is recognized, but what is the future of this incredible series and the start of your amazing literary journey?
Well, these characters definitely have a lot more growing up to do, that's for sure. They have a lot more learning to do together and separately. And they have a lot more people to inspire.
Yeah, man. I've said to Willow before, I'm like, I think book 2 is going to be our Empire Strikes Back. Freaking ground! Yeah. And yeah, because it's very, like, this really is the first act for these characters. And
So
like,
it's a trilogy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
We'll start there. I wanted to be mysterious, but
And yeah, so I think readers are going to be so excited about where it goes. I mean, like, there's, you know, in Act 2 and everything, that's when the stakes get raised, the pressure gets higher, and the characters, both Yafeyu and Freitas are going to have to go inward. And you know, this book, there's a lot of going out, as well as in. But I think in book 2, we really kind of. Yeah, it's like the spiritual journey really like takes center stage. And it gets, but the epicness of it continues. And we're going to new places.
Upset.
it'll be fun. Yeah.
you might drink.
No.
And again, get ready for every message, every DM, every comment until I'm so happy for you.